Hello everybody, and welcome back to Pokemon Ranger. So the last part, we started our investigating the Dusk factory. And since we just got our hands on our very own Pinsir, we can now go back to that first generator that we saw, so that we can free that Pikachu. Now, I'm gonna say this right now. There is gonna be more than one generator around here, so expect to get. So you're probably gonna get at least more than one Pinsir in order for you to be able to get the job done. So, yeah. But now I'm gonna see what happens when you just so happen to free. If it just so happen to shut down the generator. Ah, I see. When a generator is stopped, the factory's floor's lighting glows down. Judging by the size of this factory, there must be other generators about. Now let us find the next one. And then, as soon as we enter back into the area that we were just in, now there's gonna be no more Mr. Mimes around. As he says, there's a sudden chill in the air. But as you might hear and see, now this area is now spawned with Gastlys. Now, Gastlys, as what I said previously, are definitely going to be your most annoying Pokemon to deal with within this game. Because, as Hastings says here, the Gastlys can actually abduct your friend Pokemon, if they just so happen to notice them. Yeah, as you see with these, as you saw with these Gastly here, yeah, they actually tried to abduct my own Pokemon. Yeah, as soon as they notice your friend Pokemon, they will immediately go right towards them and try to abduct them. And if they just so happen to succeed, you will lose that friend Pokemon completely. Meaning that, of course, if you want to get them again, you actually have to go back to where you first got them. And in this area is also Gastlys is an area where Gastlys also spawn in as well too. And also, and I guess I should say this as well too. In this game, we are also going to be encountering Haunters and also Gengars as well. And both of them also do the exact same thing that these Gastlys do. Yeah, Haunter and Gengar will also try to abduct your very own Pokemon as well. Yeah, just be very careful around that. But anyways, now that the generator's down, we can now enter. Now we can also enter that room right next to where this commander is. Yeah, considering that we also need to. Yeah, considering that now we need to get a Pokemon that can burn down that scrapped metal, and the Pokemon that can do that is actually this Houndoom. And I guess I should say this as well too. The Gastlys can also be annoying too. Yeah, they can. Now the Gastlys can also try to abduct your friend Pokemon when you just happen to try to clear a target. When you're trying to do a target clear, and they definitely love to go after the Pokemon that you are just trying to do the target clear with. Yeah. Which definitely makes them... Yeah, like I said, these Gastlys are really a bitch to deal with. Oh god, no! No, fuck off! Oh god. Oh my god, you see what I mean? You see what I mean? You see what I mean about these Gastlys? They're really annoying. And considering that, as I said previously, I fully played this game, after I played for the other two. Yeah, you could probably tell by my frustration as to how I went through this my very first time through. But anyways, Houndoom. Oh god, oh, fuck off, Gastly! Oh, you just had to respawn immediately? Oh, come on. That Gastly just had to respawn immediately. Then immediately just go right after my Houndoom. And just freaking interrupt me. You see what I mean about these Gastlys, man? Oh, you see what I mean by these Gastlys? Now, thankfully, this is something that they did not bring back for the other two. Yeah, no Pokemon in the other two Ranger games have the ability to abduct your own Pokemon. Man, seriously, you will not understand. You can probably understand what my frustration is. Like considering that I actually fully played the other two Ranger games before fully playing this one. And when I got to my first encounter with Gastly, I'm like, oh my god, damn, these oh god, cool. Oh my god, cool Gastly. But then when you get to the fact that they can literally abduct your own friend Pokemon, really? But anyways, everyone, now we have this battle with two Machops, and also another Machoke. Yeah, which leads into our second overall encounter with Machoke. Yeah, that's definitely something as well, huh? What'd you do that for? I'm gonna catch big trouble for the boss if you let if you let the Pokemon go. Well, that's more on you, not me. But anyways, now we go down this hallway. Now we get into another battle with a bunch of freaking Ratattas. Now, I guess I just say this right now. Now, if you recall, back when we were in the waterworks, and I showed off that there were these little vents with little holes in them, but however, no Pokemon spawned from them. Well, that's because those vents are actually what all of these Ratattas were for. Yeah, that's right. I'm within the waterworks. Yeah, now when you see these little vents with the holes, I'm sure Ratattas will spawn from them. But however, you're probably not going to see them until now, considering that this grunt essentially captured a whole bunch of them. Yeah. And speaking of Ratatta, yeah, as you saw, yeah, when you're dealing with a bunch of them, yeah, even though you only have to do one loop to get them, but just dealing with a whole bunch of them, as you saw, definitely makes it really a bitch to deal with. But it's not like they're completely annoying. It's just that dealing with a bunch of them at once can be a pain. But anyways, now we have reached the area where the main entrance to the factory is located, and we also have this room. Yeah, now we have our very regular arrow, like a conveyor belts here. Well, not so much conveyor belts, but we essentially just have a bunch of arrows on the floor. And then as soon as you step on one, then you will immediately get transferred, and then you will immediately go to wherever these arrows take you. Excuse me. But anyways, yeah, and also in this room, there was also this other Pinsir here too. Yeah, just in case if you did not go back for that one Pinsir. Now, just in case if you didn't go back to that previous Pinsir, I'm sure like I just did. Now, if it just happened, yeah, now she can always get to this other Pinsir, for the next generator. But anyways, as I'm trying my best to figure out the pathway for this, now, oh yeah, and also get this for a Magneton here, considering that we may need him later. But anyways, now I may as well go over how the ghost type of Poke Assist works. Now, when you utilize the ghost type Poke Assist, now when you perform loops with your capture line, but not so much as you're trying to capture the Pokemon, but just do loops like when you just happen to not be near any Pokemon, then these little ghosts, you can actually get to form these little ghosts that will spawn from it. And if the opponent just so happens to touch it, then you just have then they will get themselves some shade immobilized. And the effectiveness for this one lasts about 10, 20, and 45 seconds long. So I would say, even though the Gastly line is a bitch to deal with in this game, but however, the Pokésys for the ghost types I would say is definitely very, very, very special. Yeah, I would say it is definitely a good one to have. But anyways, now I don't recall if we're gonna get a much more stronger Pokemon to be able to utilize Cut with, or if I still need Pinsir. So I may as well bring another one. So I may as well bring another one with me just in case. But anyways, as we go for this area. Oh yeah, that's right. Now here's where we get to our very first wild encounter with a Machoke. Yeah, that's right. Now here's where you can actually get your very own Machoke finally. Yeah, I like that, huh? But anyways, now we have the first room, where apparently no ghost Pokemon will spawn. Yeah, that's really something, huh? But anyways, now as we go through this area, now this is easy. Pressing that red button should open the door. Well, as he says that, yeah, it's an alarm. Oops, my mistake. That must have been an alarm button. It's a mistake that anyone could make. Yeah, and then here we have our very first top rank grunt. And here is we're going to be battling against a Ariados and a Crobat. Now, I guess I should say this. Okay, now as we're going to deal with these two. Now, Ariados is definitely a lot more aggressive than Spinarak. Considering the Ariados really love to spawn even more spiderwebs. Spiderwebs. And also, Ariados are just as fast as are even more faster than Spinaraks. And then as for Crobat, not only is he definitely a lot more faster than Zubat, Crobat will utilize the Supersonic at least 3 or 4 times in a row before they will start to move again. And also for Crobat, when we just happen to encounter Crobats within overworld, the Crobats will also utilize their supersonic to confuse you, essentially the same as Zubats do. Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's probably the first time within. Oh yeah, and we also have another occurrence within Gen 3, where if you're not utilizing your very own Zubat, where you actually get to encounter Crobat before Golbat. Yeah. But anyways, now we have generator number 3, which actually holds a Raichu, who is inside of a big cage. And then also, it definitely requires for me to utilize a Pokemon who is more stronger than Pinsir. So, looks like I didn't really need that Pinsir after all. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, I guess I really did not need that second. I guess I really didn't need that third Pinsir after all. And now, to get that Pokemon to cut that last cage, we not only have a Ludicolo here, and we also have a Meowth, But we also have a Scyther! Now, Scythers really love to hop around a lot. Yeah, and essentially trying to time their hops carefully, so then you can actually get them rather quickly. Now, and I guess I'll just say this as well. Consider this Cypher as practice for where we are going to be going, as practice for what we are going to be experiencing once we're done. I'm cutting down this very last, once we cut down this very last cage here. Yeah. Oh yeah, and also for this Raichu. Yeah, unfortunately we're not gonna be, we're not gonna be able to get Raichu in this area ourselves. But of course we are gonna be able to encounter Raichu later. But anyways, everyone, with that said, that should be every single generator in the Dusk factory down and out. But however, we're still not quite done here yet. Yeah, you're definitely gonna see what we're gonna be going up against. I will say starting with the next part. Yeah, and so until the next part, I'll see you guys next time.